Hi everyone. From today, I'm starting the planning optimization sessions, and I'm going to start with the coverage group, which is the important thing in understanding the basic concepts. So let's start. So I'm going here in the navigation. So this is the coverage groups, and you can see the navigation here like master planning, setup, coverage groups. So today I'm going to start with the coverage code requirement. And today I discuss like just few fields, and gradually we will move on and then discuss more fields as we progress. So the first thing is when we create it, so you can assign a calendar. So calendar is like I will have another session where I will explain everything regarding creation of calendars and other stuff. So we associate a calendar. So here we have like Monday to Friday are the working days, Saturday, Sunday are off. So the system going to whenever we're doing the planning system going to consider the calendar. Okay, so that's something. The first thing, and let's start in the general tabs are coverage. So there is a coverage code. So in a coverage code, that means like how the supply will be generated. So here we'll be describing that, and there are different like methods we can choose like requirement, min max, priority, decoupling. So we will like go one by one and then see. So today I'm going to start with the requirement. Requirement is like there one planned supply is generated based on each demand requirement. So if there is a demand, supply will be generated. Another demand, supply will be generated. We will see in details like maybe one thing comes to our mind. Will there be any like accumulation or aggregation or how it works? So I will show you an example. So that's one thing like that's the important thing. So which coverage group we are going to use. And then there is a coverage time fence. That's in days. So here just for example, I'm taking 7 days. Okay, so what this means? This means like how far into the future we are going to look into the planning. So that means like we are going to plan for the if I'm running the planning today. So then I'm like considering those sales order which are going to be shipped in the next coming 7 days. If beyond that fence, like if something is planned to be like shipped after 9 days, 8 days, or whatever, so I'm just ignoring those. So it's not creating unnecessarily clutter or it keep things tidy. Okay, so that's one thing. And the other thing I will demonstrate the negative days. So here I'm picking two. So when I say the negative days, so that means how many days late supply can still satisfy the existing demand. So what that means? That means let's say you have a sales order for today, but you also have a purchase order which is coming in 2 days. So that might be delayed, or maybe that's planned in that way, whatever. So but we want like to delay the supply to the customer because it's just 2 days. So we negotiate with the customer and use that purchase order which is coming in 2 days. So negative days means like how many days late supply can still satisfy the demand. So that's good important concept. So that's one thing. And then there is a positive days, which is 7. That means how many days early supply can be used to satisfy demand. What that means? That means like if you need to ship something today and there is a like a purchase order which is supposed to come yesterday or day before yesterday or 3 days ahead or even 7 days ahead, or maybe that purchase order got delayed due to some reason. So we rather than creating more like planned order or doing more effort, so try to leverage those already created purchase orders. So that's the concept of positive days. So it means like how many days early supply can be used to satisfy the demand. So that's one thing. And the other concept is like this is important. So sometimes, or maybe always, in most of the cases, you have the on hand. So here we have two options. So I will look into both the options when I will be doing the demo. So let's pick before all other supply. What that means? So there are different sources of supply. Like you might have a purchase order, you might have a production order, you might have a transfer order. So there are different sources of supply to replenish or to take care of the demand. So, but here we are saying like rather than just keep accumulating the on hand, just consume that first. So here we're saying like consume the on hand before all other supply. So that's the flag I will be showing. So keep in mind all these parameters, and then we will look into that. So I created one release product. So let's look into that. So this is my item, and let's see like the open purchase order. So let's go there. So we have two purchase order. One purchase order is coming today is 25th. So one is coming like 27th, and then another is due on 20th. That's delayed. So there is a purchase order. We haven't received it. So one is coming after 2 days, and one which was due 5 days before. So we have two purchase orders. And this is the quantity which is we have, like the 10 and 5. Okay, let's look into the supply side, demand side. So let's go to the cell and then see the sales order. So here we see like there is a one sales order which need to be shipped today, 25th. And then there is another which is like maybe 11 days from now onward. So the question is like if you look into, if you recall that like the coverage group setup, and there we had a coverage time fence which was 7 days. So is there any need to plan anything for the sales order, or it's too early? So the answer, it's too early because we have a like a coverage time fence of 7 days. So the system going to ignore the sales order 682 and just work for this sales order. So we will be able to deliver it, and the quantity which we need to deliver is 50, and the purchase order which we have already in the system, they are 10 and 5. So let's see how the system going to behave. And let's see one more thing. And I go to like a planned order. So here I will be using this dynamic plan. So if I refresh it, so far there is nothing. So so we have a very clean slate. So let's start it. Okay. The way we can do, like we can do from the release product. So let's go to the release product, open it, and then no. So we can go to the master planning, and then we're going to use the dynamic plan. And here I already applied the item filter. So my planning is only just for one item. So let's run it and then see how it look like. It will take a few more seconds because it's looking into a lot of things like the on hand, all the purchase orders, the sales orders, the transfer orders. So it's like looking into a lot of data and then going to show us the planning. So let's wait a little. Okay, so let's go to here and then see the plan order. So system created this plan order, and then if we want to view the requirement profile, so let's see how it look like and why the system created in this way. So here you see like you have the on hand, which is 10, and we said we want to consume the on hand, which is available. So system going to consume. So we have 10 on hand, which is accumulated value is 10, and then there is a purchase order which is coming on 25. So 25 is the requirement date. I'm sorry. So this is the purchase order I showed you, which need to become 5 days before. So it's a delayed. So the delay is 5 days. So, and in this purchase order, we have a quantity of 5. So on hand plus this 5, the accumulated is 15. But this is something supposed to, it's already, this purchase is already is being delayed by 5 days. Okay, I will look into this. I will explain this in few seconds. So let's go to the other one, the system, and then saying, let's look into the sales order. So system is not considering both the sales order, just one, because the other sales order is after the fence, and the fence is 7 days, and that sales order need to be shipped after 7 days. So system is just ignoring it. And this sales order is required 50. And then the system is saying so far you have 15, you need to procure 25 more, so it should be 40, and still you have a deficit of 10. Then you have another purchase order which is for 10, and this purchase order is coming late 2 days. I showed you the purchase order, this is not coming, this is coming on to 27. So we have to advance it get it early, request them to get send us early. Okay, I will talk about these actions in a few seconds. So here we see like the system is going to consume the on-hand 10, then the purchase order 5, it's 15, and then this purchase order it's 20, and then it's 25 because we have a sales order for 50. So you have to create another order. So the system is going to create a planned purchase order for us. Okay, so this is something we see. And the other thing is if I click on the on-hand and then we see the pegging as well. So this pegging means this on-hand is where this is pegged. So where this is associated or attached. So it means this is being used to fulfill this sales order. And then if I go to this purchase order, this means this purchase order is also being used for this sales order. This purchase order also for this sales order. This sales order is being fulfilled using on hand, this purchase order, this plan order, and these two purchase orders. So this is something we see, a very good summary, and everything is connected. Okay, so we good so far. Let's try to understand the action. Okay, so the first is the system is saying this is the purchase order which is delayed. This is supposed to come 5 days earlier. So the system is asking go to that purchase order and then increase the quantity. So how much quantity we need? So here you notice the system is suggesting there is no need to create this plan order. Just cancel this plan order. And what's the quantity in this plan order? 25. And the system is saying increase the quantity in the existing purchase order because this is purchase order which is lying with the vendor and they are holding it. Just follow up with them and then ask them because you are already delayed. No, rather than sending 5, send us 5 plus the quantity which is on the plan order 25. So this purchase order should be 30. So that's the system is saying. So this is the message. So this facilitate, this help the planner if they want to do something to make the things tidy. So that's one thing. And then I already explained what this cancel. So we're going to cancel this plan order. Okay. And then the sales order we have good, and then this one we still have a message that's advanced because this sales order coming late by 2 days. The system is suggesting rather than waiting this, ask the vendor to send it early rather than telling the customer we're not able to ship it. So that's the meaning of this message. So let's look into this one more time, the coverage group. So here we see this requirement. So coverage time frame 7, that means the system going to consider only those sales order which are in the next 7 days if we're running today. Negative days 2, that means the number of days late supply can still satisfy the demand. If something we have to deliver today, but if something is coming tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we're going to use those purchase order rather than creating new plan order. Positive days, if there are already some purchase order which are not being fulfilled, they are still overdue, then we should consume that. So the 7 means the past 7 days like those purchase order which are open and they are overdue. So we should be using that rather than creating new purchase order. And then here this means like before all other supply. So consume the on hand before other supply. So let's change this. And then I'd say like after all other supply, it means like whatever the purchase order, whatever you have, consume that. And then if you still need the on hand, then use that. So I'm saving this setting, and then I'm going to run the master planning again. And then one thing I was trying to do before. So let's go to the requirement profile, and here let's go to the sales order, because system is just considering one sales order. So I want to show another navigation. So this is my sales order for a quantity of 50. So here I go to the product and supply. There is a net requirement. And here you see the same thing here. The same window is coming here. And you can run the master planning here as well. You just say update master planning, and here you use a dynamic plan and run it. So the advantage here is like that the system is considering only those items which are in that sales order, and then providing you all the like planned orders. So that's one way if you want to navigate from the sales order. And the other is like if you're running the master plan overall organization wide. So that I already showed you the navigation. So let's wait and then see. So in this situation, I was claiming, I was saying, because we don't want to consume the on hand. We want first use all the purchase order and everything, and then consume the on hand. So let's see how the system is going to behave. It again about take 2 minutes, and then let's stay with me. Okay, so we have the data. So here you see the on hand is 10, and then because we have a like a demand of 50, but the existing purchase order is just like 10, this one, and then 515. So they cannot like meet the requirement. So there is a problem. So let's change this quantity and then run it again, so you can better understand it. So let's go one of the purchase order, and here you notice like this is today's 25, and here you see 27. So this is coming late, and let's say the quantity here is let's change the quantity. Let's say I'm making it 25. Save it. I'm coming back, and I'm running the master planning again. So you can see the difference. So here I was claiming like the system going to consume the like other supply, and if like able to fulfill the demand, good, happy. But if the other supply is not able to, then it's going to consume the on hand. So let's see. It again take about 2 minutes, and I'm sorry for that. And it's a very good idea, like when if you need to do the practice, so all those parameters, everything, either you write a note or you just take a screenshot and use that, so that will help you. Here you see, like the on hand is 10, and then you have 5, so it's 15. Then you have this plan purchase order. So the system is going to consume, like its system is again saying like this is the purchase order you increase, and then it's going to be cancelled. So plan purchase order, the system is saying you have to create a plan purchase order of 10. Why 10? Because you have 25 here, 25 plus 5, it's 30, and then system is saying cancel it. This is something the system is saying you need to advance it, like change the request the vendor to send it, expedite it. And then you have to increase the quantity here. So how much quantity you need to increase? So I need like I'm canceling this 10, so it should be 15. 15 plus 25, it will be 40. So let's work on this. So let's we're going to cancel this. Let's go to this purchase order and then add a quantity of 10, because the system is saying increase the quantity by 10. So let's listen to the system and then see. So go to the ordered quantity. So we're going to add 10, so it's 15. And here you see like this is like coming, has to come 5 days before, it's 20th. And because we put a like the positive day 7, so whatever is coming in the past, so we going to like use those purchase order, use that potential supply rather than creating more documents, because that take time and effort. So I go back here from this purchase order. So this is I acted on this, and this is like the system is going to cancel it. So I'm not going to cancel it when I run it. And if the system able to meet like the requirement, then the system going to automatically cancel the plan purchase order. So I'm not going to do anything. So this is like system is saying advance. Advance means let's go to this purchase order, and then the date is 27. The system is saying you need to advance by minus 2 days. So it should be coming early. So let's make that date to 25. I talked with the vendor, I negotiated, and vendor is kind enough to send it yesterday. So I did that. Okay. So let's go back. So whatever the message I see, I acted on those messages, and then let's update it and then run it again. And let it again take about 2 minutes. So that's how I creatively you change different parameters, and this is how the planners are working. So they look into different messages. They talk with the like different stakeholders and then negotiate, and then some purchase order you need to get early, some need to change the quantity. So such type of things keep happening in a business. The business is quite dynamic. So let's see. So here you see like this purchase order. it's 15. This is 25. And this is sales order. And here you see like this sales order is using only the purchase order. You see packing, it's not consuming the on hand. On hand is still there. So it's not being used. So so this purchase order is for this 15. This purchase order is this for 25. No, it's not like that. So the system is consuming the on hand. So it just like these two purchase order are just 40, and then they need to consume this after that. So let's increase a little bit more amount and then see. I'm going to make it I'm going to make the quantity 10 more. It's like I'm going to make it 25 or 30, whatever. So I change the quantity and then I'm going to run it. So my claim is like the on hand should not be touched. So if there is enough supply is available from the other sources, system should use that. And then if that's not sufficient, you still have the on hand. So use the on hand. But if the other supply and the on hand altogether is not sufficient, then you have to create the planned purchase order. So that's how the system going to behave or going to work. So let's see in this like a scenario. So here we see like this on hand, you see it's not packing anything. So it's there. And this 30 is packed with that sale order. And then there's 25. And then this is like this demand is being fulfilled from this. So 30 plus 25, it's 55. So that's the system is again giving the message decrease. Decrease means like you are procuring more, which is more than needed. Maybe if you procure five more eaches, so maybe nobody demand five. So normally people ask 20, 50, 50, 30 or whatever, or maybe those go in waste. So the system is saying this is the time you need to decrease the quantity by 5. So that's how the system is behaving. So I hope this session is useful. I keep recording and doing that. And thank you. Have a good nice day. Bye.